Hi, this is my Reflect and Connect number 8 for the Chapter 11 Method Books and Music for the School Orchestra Program. So something that caught my eye was keys in relation to grade level ability. Um, Growing up in like 4th through 5th grade orchestras, I really got a ton of experience playing in G and D major because that was what a lot of the essential elements books or the essential elements exercises were in. A lot of our orchestra pieces were in, my solos and stuff. So it wasn't really until 7th, 8th, even ninth grade that I got experience playing in those different keys. And I had a private student who is a sophomore in high school, and she came to me having, I can't remember the piece that she had played before, but basically she was super 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 comfortable in G and D major, and did not feel comfortable with her low twos, low ones, um and I decided to have her learn Vivaldi's concerto in A minor to get her more comfortable with those low twos and low ones. um and it was a really really great decision. She became a lot more comfortable, and we're exploring different keys through different pieces and different scales. So and that kind of segues into like the goals and objectives into the pieces chosen. And this doesn't just apply to my private lessons, this also applies to high school orchestra teaching as well. But for any piece, you want to make sure that what are you trying to teach. Are you trying to teach a new key signature? Are you trying to teach a new rhythm, a new articulation, a new style? It can be anything. So like for Dia de los Muertos, um I feel like if I was choosing that to teach a high school orchestra, I might choose it to get the students a little more comfortable with the alternating time signatures. Maybe getting them out of the comfort of 4/4 or out of 3/4 um, for a long period of time, because the signatures change in that a lot. Also the accents in that ba 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 ba. Um, yeah, what will the piece contribute to student learning? So, like I said, key signatures, time signatures, articulation, styles, all of those are different learning objectives that you could choose a piece for your orchestra. Um, so styles and periods. So another thing that you could choose a piece for, I know I had a lot of experience with this in high school, is when a piece was chosen, we would kind of have like a 10-15 minute talk about the history of the piece, about the composer, about the composer's life, maybe even the story behind the piece. I know we had a whole thing about Berlioz, and we were all like obsessed with it. But talking about the history behind a piece definitely will get the students more involved in what they're playing, and make them feel like they're telling a story. At least it did for me, when Miss Ruda would talk about the history behind a piece. um, Students like to play if they are challenged and like to sense improvement. So I feel like this goes back to the zone of proximal development from Psych and Soc. Um, it's definitely really important to choose a piece that your students will be able to, feel like they're improving and feel like they're learning, and not only feel like they're learning and improving, but actually learning and improving. Um, and choosing a piece that's out of their out of their ZPD will make that really really hard for them, and probably a lot less motivated to learn. Um, I know what does Dr. Webb say in class? Um, the most important thing, well, not the most important thing, but your orchestra has to sound good. So, yeah. Um, and then I'll just touch on method books. So, I learned with Essential Elements, and it talks about like whether there's photographs, are the pages cluttered, what's the ratio of the amount of writing versus the amount of photos. um, I like the Essential Elements book. I started using it for my beginning private lessons, and obviously I learned through it. um, I think the most important thing, though, is knowing how to use those method books correctly. Because, I mean, you can teach with essential elements, or you can use excerpts from essential elements, but if you're not teaching them correctly or pacing them correctly, then it's not going to be as effective as the author might have intended. Yeah, that's my Reflect and Connect number 8.